Smart, good-looking, and thin. You'll never make it this town good. As long as I have something to say about it. Now, before we step into round 4, let me just remind you that this event tonight is sponsored by News Talk 1190 Mobile, the Allen County Republican Party, the IPFW College Republicans, and the Mike Downs Center for Indiana Politics. So again, we thank all them for their good work. Up to this point, the questions have come from a pool of questions, and we had many questions that were sent in through the website at WOWO. This became part of them. In round 4, all of the questions are questions that have been submitted from the room tonight. And just for our edification, again, how many of you are precinct committee people? So it's sure to believe that probably a lot of these questions carry the ones that you all turned in, so we're thankful for that. We are now ready to begin round 4. Everybody doing all right? Hanging in there? Yep, all right. We can go find more people to run if you want. Going now first in round 4, and the question will go to Lonnie Powell. So if you'll select her. Question number 1. To you, what is the definition of a social conservative?
Social conservative, I know for myself as a social conservative, I'm pro-life. I'm in favor of a strong military. I'm in favor of strong and well-funded schools. I'm in favor of strong and efficient constituent services. We have great government programs that are not meeting the needs of some local people. I've had the privilege of meeting in recent weeks, months, and years, and there's a disconnect. And if we are going to have social programs, we need to make sure that those resources and those programs are connecting with the people that need them most. And so we need to have good, strong communities and programs that we do put in place, that we do all agree upon, that are good, because there is a certain segment of society that does need help. And I think that is a legitimate function of government, is to provide help for those who can't help themselves. We need to make sure that those efforts, those resources are targeted and get to the people that need them and deserve them, and then help them get back on their feet, moving forward again, and not keep a permanent class of people chained to benefits and never moving forward.
Thank you, sir. The next question for round 4. Question 2, all right, making my life easy. Here we go, question number 2. What, if any, should the role of the U.S. be in the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, and how do you personally feel about Israel continuing to build in the settlements?
Well, I'm pro-Israel, pro-Israel, pro-Israel. That's a battle that will never, in our lifetime, be resolved. It has a biblical history, and pretty much all we will be doing is probably trying to stand between the two. I do believe Israel has a right to exist. We know that the Palestinians that want to wipe them, as well as some of the other radical groups want to wipe them off the face of the earth. We have a responsibility as this country, I believe, that to stand behind Israel. We are their only ally, and I guess for me, like I said, I'm just pro-Israel, pro-Israel, pro-Israel.
Bob Thomas.
Number 9.
Question number 9. How will you support the pro-life cause as a congressperson?
Well, the most sacred, unalienable right that we have is to life. Okay, is absolutely and it is the basis of our existence on this earth. There is only one interpretation of what that means. You cannot make a logical, moral, or ethical argument for what pro-life means unless you say that life begins at conception. It's just that simple. There is no way around it. Anybody who doesn't say that is using the same type of logic that the Nazis used against the Jews, in my opinion. They marginalize the value of a certain life, and you cannot do that. So as a congressperson, you absolutely have to stand behind that. It is the most basic right. Nothing that the federal government does should ever be construed to help to foster anything that involves abortion or anything that fosters abortion. And that includes here in the United States, on all our military bases, and all our territories. And if we don't protect that, then we, as a society, have lost our moral purpose.
Question number 14. A part of the job of Congress is to provide oversight of the executive branch. What will you be watching most carefully with this executive branch?
This is a full-time job now. It's very unfortunate that we're even in this position today here in the United States, where we have a president who is going around the world and apologizing for America's greatness. And I believe that it is important for Congress to be a check on the executive branch. And that is one of the wisdom that our founding fathers had, was to create 3 levels of government: our executive, our legislative, and our judicial branch. And the executive branch is the legislative branch are the ones who carry the purse strings. The president cannot spend money. We have to get control of spending in Congress, and then that is how we limit the executive branch currently being held by President Barack Obama. I believe that we also need to watch the executive orders that he has passed. The executive order that he signed to get the health care bill passed, the deals that have been cut to get the health care bill passed, I think are all ones that we have to be ringing the alarm again, whether it's Rahm Emanuel making deals in Pennsylvania, or whether it's making deals in the back rooms in Congress to get their legislation passed, whether it's the health care bill, whether it's cap and trade. The way that they operate is Chicago-style politics, and we need to ask for and demand transparency and accountability.
Mr. Elijah, the question you selected? Question number 3. Would you support legislation that would require any candidate for federal office to reside in the district for at least 1 year prior to filing for that office and have voted in at least one election in that district prior to filing for office?
Who wrote that question?
I just read them.
I think we've had laws in the books for a very long time about the federal election process. We've seen in this election, sometimes things don't go the way you expect. That's what happened in this election. The question is, well, who assumes that role? Well, there are rules on the books. You go to those rules and you follow those rules. I think they've been set up for a number of years. The people choose in the district. If you want to get on the ballot and if you want to run, the people will choose whether you're qualified or not. And it goes in touch also with term limits. That's one thing I've heard over and over again. The committeemen that I've talked to, they're getting fed up with term limits. And I think my position there would be the same thing. The voters decide. Now that's a little different story because it's not set up where you can really challenge an incumbent, and that's a lot bigger argument. But I think we have laws on the books for a reason, and so I would support the way they are.
Thank you, sir. Goes to Richard Thotter. Mr. Thotter, the question you're selecting is?